Kahoot is a fun and exciting tool to use in your classroom. You can use it to assess what your students already know about a topic, or you can use it as an exit slip or a quiz to find out just what they learned during your lesson. Either way, the students will have fun and be engaged throughout. So let's get started and see how it works. First, you're going to want to go to getkahoot.com. From there, you're going to want to click Sign Up for Free if you don't already have an account, or you simply sign in if you do. Click Sign In and you're ready to go. Once you're signed in, this is what your dashboard looks like. Here you can see you can create a new Kahoot by creating a quiz, a discussion question, or a survey. Let's go ahead and create a quiz so that I can show you all the different types of questions you can create. So the first step is to title your Kahoot. I'm going to title mine Propaganda in Advertisements. And then to make it more interesting, you're going to want to add an image. So you can either click and choose your image, or you can just drag and drop it. Next, I'm going to add a description. So propaganda techniques found in ads. Okay, I'm going to make it visible to everyone, language English, and then I'm going to choose school as my audience. You can also add an intro video, but I'm going to add some videos in my Kahoot, so I'm just going to stick with this image here, and I'm going to click OK, Go. So here's where I start building my Kahoot and my questions. So I'm going to add a question. On this screen is where we actually build our question. So we're going to go ahead and type our question in, which is, what type of propaganda is most prominent in this advertisement? So of course I need to add an advertisement for the students to look at, and I think this time I'm going to add a video. So I'm going to click Add Video, and it's a YouTube video, so I'm going to go ahead and paste the link there and add that. Okay, looks good. So now I'm going to add some multiple choice options. So I'm going to put the different types of propaganda. So I'm going to put testimonial, bandwagon, let's do plain folks, and name calling. And I'm going to want to choose which one of these is correct, and for this video it's going to be bandwagon because he wants to be like all the cool kids. I'm going to hit next. One thing I forgot to show you when we were building the question is the fact that you can set a time limit. So the students could have from 5 seconds to 120 seconds to answer the question, depending on the difficulty level. So for this one, 20 seconds seems like a pretty good amount of time, so I'm going to leave it there. But just know that you could change it depending on the difficulty. On this page then, I could choose to add another question, and it would take me to the exact same screen to build another question. Or I could go ahead and duplicate this question, and then I can edit it, and then I could change the media and also the answer options. Since I'm looking at all different types of propaganda in advertisements, I'm going to want to duplicate the question and then just change the media and maybe some of the answer choices to make it a little faster and easier for me. So if I wanted to just change the media, I'm going to hit replace. I'm going to paste my new YouTube link in here. I'm going to add it. And once it's on there, I'm going to uncheck my answer from before because this one is actually testimonial. Hit next, and I'm ready to create yet another question. Once I've added all my questions, I'm going to go ahead and click Save, and then my Kahoot will be published. So I can edit it again if I need to. I can preview it, play it, or share it. Let's preview it so you can see how it would look for a student. So on your overhead, you would be broadcasting this screen right here, Kahoot Propaganda and Advertisements. And as the teacher, you're going to go ahead and click Classic if you want all the students to play individually. That's what we're going to do today. And once you click Classic, this will pop up, and the students will enter the game pin. So I'm going to go ahead and enter 915859. I'm going to go ahead and put my name, and then we're ready to start the game. This is what the students will see on the overhead screen, and on that cell phone, that's what they will see on their individual devices. It gives them time to look at the question, and then They will actually start playing. And what you notice is the time doesn't start till the advertisement stops. So even though it says 20 seconds and my commercial is a minute, that 20 seconds won't start until after the commercial is over. The students will see corresponding colors and shapes on their device that match the answers. And so they're going to choose the one that they think is correct. And we're going to say that it's bandwagon. And it'll show them, once everyone has answered, that they were correct. It'll show how many people got the correct answer as well as how many people chose the other options. There'll then be a scoreboard where all the student names are there with the amount of points that they received. They receive more points depending on how fast that they were able to click in their answer. And then it becomes a competition among the class. Okay, so once the game's over, you see who the top scorers are, how many they got correct and incorrect, and any feedback and results. So now that you know how to create your own Kahoot, let's talk about how you can use other people's Kahoots that are already made. So from your home screen of Kahoot, you're going to go to Public Kahoots. And let's say I didn't want to, or I didn't have time to make my own Kahoot for propaganda, I can just go ahead and search it. And when I put that in there, there's going to be a whole list of propaganda Kahoots that are just waiting to be played. I'm not going to want to go ahead and use it before I preview it, so I can go ahead and click on it and see what kind of questions are there. The nice thing about it is I can play it right from the screen, and then the students will be able to go ahead and put the code in and play. Or if I don't like a question or two on here, I can always duplicate it. And then it'll become one of mine and I can edit it. And I can change the questions, I can delete questions, I can do what I need to do, make simple little changes so that it's more usable in my own classroom. So we've learned how to create our own Kahoots, we've learned how to search for public Kahoots. Now it's time to figure out how to play them. They are definitely played in a group setting like a classroom. The players answer on their own devices. So if your students have one-on-one devices, that's perfect. If they also have cell phones, they can use those too. And then while the game is being displayed on the big screen, they use their device to answer the questions. In order to play, the students will have to type in kahoot.it. And once they go to kahoot.it, they simply enter the game pin that you have displayed on your overhead. One of the best reasons for using Kahoot is the data that you get. Not only do the kids love playing it, but you get to see what they know. All of your results are stored on your home page, and you can download those and view them. Let me show you what one looks like. When I download that data, it's going to open in a spreadsheet, and I'm going to be able to see the student names, and I'm going to be able to see all of their correct answers in green and all of the incorrect answers in red. So when I'm looking at this right here, I can see that this question is the one that many students got wrong. So this is the skill that I'm going to need to go back and reteach. There are so many ways to incorporate Kahoot into your classroom. Here are just a few examples. You can use it to introduce new topics. They now have a thing called a blind Kahoot where it teaches the students and it kind of creates these building blocks for the students to work through. They now have ghost mode, where students can challenge their past performance and try and beat their score. You can use it for the quizzes and the discussions and the surveys as either formative or summative assessments, exit slips. The possibilities are endless, and the students love the competitive nature of this game. The screen says it all. Learn happy and learn loud. Students love this game. They love the competitive nature, they love the interactivity, and the teacher gets so much valuable data that they can use to shape their instruction. It's definitely a tool worth checking out and using in your classroom.